As we are back here, but we are on the other broadcast of the Tony Lenzini tournament. But, of course, joining me with her after winning the Girls Consolation 51-24, Coach Danielle Baker. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great as you pick up the win, 51-24, very dominant win. Kenna Oliver pretty much leading a good chunk of the offense there. You kind of let Olmeyer sit back tonight. Kind of, no really reason to waste your starters or anything like that. But overall, how did you feel the team performed?
I thought everyone did pretty good tonight. We always give a hammer of the game, and we gave it to the whole team just because we thought it was a good team effort. They shared the ball really well. It's been a tough week, losing to Hannibal by a point. So come back and get those two wins this week, and we got to focus on next week, which is a really big week for us. So
you got to keep working your way all the way to districts, try and get some better seeding there. What is your biggest focus for this team?
Our biggest focus is just getting a quality win. We talk about we win the games we're supposed to win, we lose the games we're supposed to lose. So our biggest focus right now is trying to knock one of those teams off. I think we're pretty close. We have a lot of close games, so that's something we're really working on. And just like better possessions overall in those bigger games. But what we're really focused on is just putting a whole 4 quarters together and knocking off one of those tough teams in our schedule.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you.
As now my color man, Jason Vaughn, will hopefully join me back on the broadcast. There we go. I mean, she's a very good coach and everything. She's coached a lot of great players in her time as a head coach, and so she's definitely got, some future in this team and everything, as it's still a lot of young team. Just graduating some key pieces last year, I think, really hurt this team. And so looking into this year, they've been doing decent enough, but looking into next year, they could be a serious threat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they got the 2 strong sophomores, and as they keep bringing subs in, it seems like everybody had sophomore after them, so they probably got a good young core coming up, and they're always well coached. We knew every time we played them this year that it was going to be a well coached team with a great game plan to come against us, and it was every time. I mean, both programs in Lewis County, both girls programs, they got some great coaches right now. Both schools should feel pretty fortunate.
I kind of wish they'd give us 20 minutes in between games, give us a little times to do press and everything, but it is what it is. We roll with the punches as they're going to get started here. The Clark County Indians and the Highland Cougars look to win the consolation for the boys bracket here. As it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. These two teams faced up last week, and Clark County would take away the win there, but I think Highland might play. They've been playing very good recently, and so if they play how they have been, they might walk away with a win.
Yeah, it's definitely a winnable game for either team. Like you said, we played there last Friday night, and Clark County did get the win, but Highland had a lot of good things that they done, and it's anybody's game tonight. We'll just have to see how it goes. Both teams had pretty good tournaments once they got into the consolation bracket here, so we'll see how tonight goes.
As real quick, starting lineup for the Clark County Indians, number 3, the 5'8" senior Chase Webster. Number 5, the 5'11" senior Isaiah Harden. Number 12, the 6'1" sophomore Corrick Hunziker. Number 14, the 6' senior Austin Day. And number 33, the 6'1" senior of Harrison Parker. Now the starting lineup for the Highland Cougars. Number 10, the senior center, Lane Hinton. Number 11, the sophomore guard, Kason Bliven. Number 13, the sophomore forward, Briscoe Post. Number 15, the senior guard, Kane Stegman. And number 25, the freshman center, Brighton Johnson. So sticking to the same lineup throughout the whole tournament so far. Not bringing Kason back in fully yet in the starting rotation, but they're keeping Bliven there, and we've seen what Bliven can be. He's a very aggressive and very, all-around player, really.
Yeah, and all 5 starting players tonight have started several games this year. Kason Bartz has also started quite a few. Christopher Gauss a couple, Tucker Vaughn a couple. So we've had several players start, so no huge change as Highland controls the tip.
As it does appear, everyone is available for play tonight. Bliven going to pass it out. There's Post wide open, now and up. Brighton Johnson goes up. There's Post again as he'll get fouled and he'll go to the line. So already some of the guys we were going to be watching out for in this game, Post and Johnson, kind of going around getting the rebounds and putting it up.
Yeah, both getting good looks. I mean, they know they should have finished them looks, but both of them kept working, and now Briscoe's going to the line for 2.
Hunziker on the foul, his first, team's first. Is that one up? No good off the back of the post. Just a little much on that one.
And Clark's the team that Highland's got a size advantage against, so they ought to be able to attack the offensive rebounds.
Got to talk with Coach Edmondson yesterday. She was out here watching the Brookfield-Clark County matchup to see who she'd have to face. Got to talk with her. She's just proud of how her boys are finally finding that confidence they've needed in themselves to play very well. And they have, playing very well against Palmyra, beating Hannibal. And I think it's been a long time since Highland boys have been able to do that. And so being able to pull off those 2 wins, they've got a lot of momentum going into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the energy they've been bringing lately, like right now in their on defense in their zone, just keeping their hands up, staying active. They're constantly talking to each other. Just small things like that just can change the culture and change the way a team plays.
Jason Bliven got a steal there as the ball would go out of bounds after Hinton tried to pass it on the baseline and would go into a Clark County player's hands, but it would go out of bounds. So points are 1-0. Post with the 1 on the free throw. As that one up, no good, bounces around, but Johnson gets the rebound up and in for 2.
Good look by Post, rimmed out, but Brighton worked on the boards and was able to put it back.
I got to talk with Edmondson, of course, and she said that Johnson is one of the nicest kids she has on that bench, but when he's on that court, he is just a different kind of player out there.
Absolutely. Yes. Great young man on the Highland team, and he's just one of the nicest and one of the best young men, but he just, when you need to get him a little mean on the court sometimes.
That one going to get passed in to Parker. Parker looking, spins, jumps back, no good. Johnson goes up, he'll get the rebound, but it will be called a jump ball. I'm going to say it's still a Clark County ball, even though everyone thought it was a Highland ball at that point.
We did control the tip, so I guess that is the first jump ball of the game. Should be Clark County's ball.
Harden passes it around. It's going to end up here on the near corner with Hunziker. Hunziker passes it out to the number 3 of Webster. Webster drives, jump shot 2, no good. Gets it in to Stegman, who will keep it in play and not let it go out of bounds. It looks like we will have a revolving ref crew, as it's not typically, as there's a foul there, as Webster went up, as so did Post, but Webster will get called on the foul.
Highland tried to skip pass again. It was there. Clark a little late to react and picked up the foul.
Stegman gives it out to Post. He'll give it back to Stegman. Stegman going to shoot for 3. No good off the rim, as it's going to get rebounded there by Hunziker. Back the other way. Going to get passed over to the number 14 of Day, then over to the number 12 of Hunziker. It's going to get moved around. Hunziker with it, then to Day. Day looking around, near wing, goes up top, passes it out to Webster. Webster in, all the way back over here to Parker on the near wing. And it's going to get passed across to Hunziker as well on the far wing. Then over here to Webster, then down, and then back out to Webster. Webster will then pass it across to Hunziker. Hunziker looks, passes it across to Webster, then over to the number 33 of Parker, then out to Webster. Webster out to Parker. Parker almost getting a little bit on a slide there. Could have probably been called for a travel, but
very close to a travel. Clark's having a little bit of trouble finding the seams till Parker was able to there, but then Hinton blocked his shot. And the scramble, Stegman tried to save it but went out of bounds.
Hinton swiped that one away as Stegman would get it, but he would kind of lose his balance as he got a little bit of a shove, but they wouldn't call any foul or anything, as that one up, no good, rebounded by Clark County, but they'll call a foul. I'm going to say this is on Hinton. No, they'll call that on Johnson, so.
Called that on Brighton. He's got to do a little better job getting in the right position.
That one up, no good. Hinton able to get a bit of a hand. I think he might have been able to get a slight tip on the ball there, but that was enough, and if it was. Post passes to Stegman, pass out to Post, then across over to Bliven. Bliven will get it to Hinton, but swiped away out of bounds, and will stay Highland ball as a little spill of the chairs there. Don't damage the hardwood floor that they're going to replace.
Number 14, Clark County went hard after the ball and crushed into their bench.
That's the number 14 of Austin Day, who's just playing as hard as he can, play till the whistle, and He was trying to, but he tipped over a chair as now Highland going to get the ball moved around. It's Bliven, then out to Stegman. Stegman looks for a three. No good off the front of the rim as that one's going to go near the far sideline, but able to be kept in by Harrison Parker. You need to just cover that up or something. Give me like a piece of paper. As this one was attempted to be passed to Hunziker, but Brighton Johnson would knock it out of bounds. It's a problem sometimes when they have all the rosters on the same page and everything.
Look at the girls'
you accidentally
roster,
look at the girls, or you accidentally look at the boys, and it's like, I wish I could cover that up and not look at that. As it's going to get passed around here, it's going to end up with Parker. Then he's going to pass it up top to the number 5 of Hardin, who will then pass it out to Webster. Then across over to the number 12 of Hunziker. Then over to Day. Day passes it down low to Hardin. Hardin passes it out to the number 33 of Parker as he'll try a jump shot up, no good. Rebounded by Johnson. Clark County is yet to get on the board, but Highland not scoring a whole lot, but it's a very aggressive game, defensive battle here as now I might have just jinxed it here as here comes Clark County.
Hunziker, nobody around him, but loses the ball, carries it, turnover. Yeah, Clark County's having trouble getting the ball anywhere other than the perimeter. They're just straight ball reversing, not finding any seams. But Highland's doing well moving the ball. We're just not quite capitalizing on our shots at the rate we'd like to, but hopefully that'll improve soon.
Some of the Canton fans have stuck around to watch the Highland game, supporting their fellow Lewis County players, as Clark County able to get yet another turnover off the Cougars. And so now it'll be the number 33 of Parker bringing it in as he's going to pass it across there to the number 12 of Hunziker, then up to the number 5 of Hardin. Hardin across to Klein. Klein looking, trying to drive, passes it out, almost didn't get a hand on it as Hunziker, as then he'll pass it across to Webster. Webster looking around, he'll lose it, but Hardin is able to keep it from going over. He'll pass it down over to Klein. Klein tries down low again, gets it to Hardin. Hardin passes it out. It's going to be number 33 of Parker. He'll shoot for three. No good. Good job there by Bliven to just put his hands out and say, I'm not touching it, and let it go out of bounds.
Clark County takes a 30-second timeout.
So they'll take a break, and I'm going to try and get my ads pulled up here. Let's start over. This broadcast is brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, Agent Jeff Whiston, with offices in Canton and Monticello, Missouri. He's a Missourian just like you. We'll be back. As welcome back here, Culver Stockton having two matchups tomorrow night as well. 2 and 4 o'clock tip-offs for them. They're facing off against the Grandview Vikings out of Des Moines, Iowa. That's going to be a tough matchup for both teams there. As ball going to get moved around here. Clark County able to get it. We're going to jump ball here.
Highlands ball.
Bliven and Johnson getting on top of the number 5 of Hardin there, and they get out with the jump ball.
I got to be honest, as a coach, that's one of them you go ahead and clap for now, but then if they would have picked up the foul, the coaches probably would have been mad at them. As they run a great play and get a simple lob for Lane Hinton, who puts it in for finally somebody else puts some more points on the board. 5-0 now, Highland Cougars.
This might be a low-scoring game at this point because, I mean, these two teams are just defensively keeping the ball away from the net, just trying to keep everybody from outside the arch finding a good shot. It's a lot of points probably going to be in the paint tonight as it's going to get moved around here by Clark County. Here's a shot for three. No good. As there will be a foul as Hinton and Bliven almost messed up the rebound there. Which, of course, it happens. You're trying to go up and get the rebound, and you're not always able to communicate the rebound situation.
Yep, and as you were saying about it, maybe being a low scoring. At this point, if Highland keeps doing what they're doing, Clark's not finding a way to get the ball inside or get the ball even off the perimeter, so unless they can knock down some threes, they're going to have a hard time scoring so far tonight.
Hitting not enough on that one as it's a little short. He looks a little hurt, but he's going to keep playing on. Might be something with the knee area. He's holding his knee there, but the ball's going to get moved around. They're going to get set to bring in number 32 of Bartz. As it's going to get moved around here, he's going to play as best as he can. Get moved around here. It's not really what you want to see if you're Highland, but hopefully just be able to get some ice, maybe just a cramp or something. That one up, no good. Hinton unable to get the rebound as it's Harden. Gets it up and in for two. Hinton going to go off in the corner. As Edmondson's going to take a 30-second timeout. I'm going to guess mainly to get Hinton out of that one.
I'd say so, just to allow the substitution.
So they'll take a 30-second timeout. As we'll stay on the air, but real quick, this broadcast is brought to you by Sharp Custom Detailing. Need that deep cleaning in your car? Give Wes a call at 660-341-1269, a founding sponsor of the Lewis County Scoop. So 5-2 is your score right now. Still got one more game after this, as this ain't really a third-place matchup I think a lot of people were expecting to hear about, but the Palmyra Lady Panthers and the Monroe City Lady Panthers are going to go at it for third place.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
I don't think both teams were expecting to be battling each other for third place.
no, probably not. But it ought to be a good game. I mean, Monroe City's just got to bounce back, only, the one night rest after their game last night. But as long as they're able to do that, it should be a good, hard-fought game.
As ball's going to get moved around here, number 32 for – now I'm lost in my pages here. Here we go. Number 32 of Connor Bards. As here's a drive baseline. Stegman throws it up. No good. Rebounded by Bliven. No good. He gets his own rebound, puts it up and in for two.
Good job by good drive there by Stegman. Just didn't quite finish, and good job by Blivens battling down there amongst all the taller ones until he can put it in.
53 seconds here in the first quarter of action. Bliven almost got in a little bit of trouble in the last game we called where he was in action. Refs kind of gave him a little bit of a warning, but he cooled off afterwards.
Yeah, Cason's an emotional player, and that can be his biggest asset, and at times it can also be the thing that hurts him the most.
I think that'll be called on post for a shove there. Yep. I thought the Clark County coach was calling time. No, he's calling out tie. As it's going to get moved around here, it's going to be Hart, or another one here is that's I think going to be called on Johnson.
Going to be Johnson or post. Going to be on Johnson. I believe
That'll
that's
be
going to be
his
his
second here. But I mean, it's late in the first quarter. I mean, it's kind of he sits kind of better that way. But now it's going to be moved around here. It's going to be Parker. Parker going to pass it across over to Klein. Klein looks, drives, stops, passes it out to Webster. Webster then passes it across to Day. Day going to then pass it over here to Klein. Klein shoots for three.
Got to have better close out there. Got to get out there. Run at their shooters like you've been doing the whole quarter, boys.
14 seconds. Stegman going to slow it down a little bit. No press coming from the Clark County Indians. Now they'll try to, though, once he gets in. Pass over to Post. Pass to Stegman. Stegman shoots for three. No good. Johnson with the rebound. Puts it up. No good. And that'll be a whistle, and we'll get to stop the play. 7-5 your score. Need some fuel in your car and your belly? Stop by Murphy's Gas Station in Monticello, Missouri with a full menu and daily specials, sweet snacks, and plenty of fuel. They'll help you get through your day and to your destination. Murphy's Gas Station, just off Highway 16, Monticello, Missouri. We'll be back with the second quarter of action. As we're back here, we're keeping our eye on Hinton, see if he'll possibly be ready to get back into the game. Still kind of, he's working it, trying to get it, Yeah, he'll sit next to Edmondson here on the front chair, and they're going to chit-chat a little bit and see if he's good to go. But, no point in risking one of your starters for injury. if that's the case, you got to hope the rest of the team will just be able to pick up the slack at the end. As you know, he's definitely a big part of the offense in a lot of ways.
A lot of good energy on that defensive possession by Highland. I like to see the way they come out after a couple trips where our energy was not good on the zone. They seem to pick it up. Maybe the coaches said something to them at the quarter.
Bliven playing down in the post as that one up for a three. No good. Rebounded by the 33 of Parker, as there will be a foul called on the number 11 of Bliven. It will be his first, team's first, 7-5 the score. Tell you what, I can know this much. My stats are right because, well, there's not very many points tonight.
Yeah, you've complained a couple times about running out of room. So far tonight, that is not going to be a problem.
As there's a drive up, no good, tipped away. They'll say he stepped out of bounds, as that was the number 10 of Weaver for Clark County, went to go get the ball. Johnson going to come in for the number 32 of Connor Bartz. Yet to see Kaysen Bartz come into the game, kind of setting him back a little bit, but also Christopher Gauss into the game, as he was a key part in the last game. He was very aggressive in that last game he played, and as that one up, travel going to be called.
Brighton Johnson tried to make a strong move, just got a little bit out of control and shuffled his feet.
Here comes Klein with it for Clark County. Clark County wearing a red jerseys with white lettering and some stripes on the side, as it's going to get moved around here. Highland wearing the white with brown lettering. That one's going to get passed over to a wide open Weaver. He shoots for three. Way too much on that one. Post going to get the rebound. He'll pass it across to Stegman.
And he could turn it on any second, but that's probably a good sign for Highland. I knew when they brought Weaver in, it was probably so he could shoot some of them open threes that they've been missing, and he's 0 for 2 on them so far.
Pass over to Stegman. Tried to put it up and in. No good. Highland trying to find their shooting from outside the arch, too, to try and get some kind of a dominant lead. As I'm going to get a pass across. Good job there by Gauss to go up and keep that pass from being made. And allows everything to get reset for them. Substitution's going to be coming in. It's Harden and the number 12 of Hunziker going to come back into the game. And now we'll get to see Kaysen Bartz. Do we have both Bartz out there? No, only one. Okay. We're good. We don't have to deal with brothers. Struggling there with sisters there in the first game. Klein going to pass it up top to the number 12 of Hunziker. Then shoots for three is Klein. No good. Rebounded by Post, as he's got a pretty much 5-on-1. He's going to put it up and in for two and gets the foul. A 5-on-1 in basketball. That's something you don't see very often.
Yeah, the 5-on-1. Clark County player tried to step in there and take the charge. Got called for the block. Their coach and him are not happy about it, but probably the right call.
That one up and in. So now he'll go on 4 with 10-5 now the score. Yeah, with the charge, there's two big ones. I mostly know the shoulder. I'm not sure what it is with when you're going up in the air. Is it going to be? I'm going to guess it's the knee, though, probably.
Yeah. As far as I know, a lot of it's just a judgment on the refs. And to be honest, there's
ball going to get moved around, not allowing him to get anywhere near the paint. As it's going to get passed over here to Parker. He's going to try and drive on the baseline. He looks, he'll passes it out to Klein. And while you're trying to defend the paint, you got to be careful not leaving the arch open, as it's going to get moved around here, around the arch, as they're going to pass it all the way back to Klein. Klein looks, tries to drive, mid-range, puts it up. He gets fouled. So that will be called on Post. That'll be his second here in the second quarter of action. That one up and in. Yeah, I've had issues where I'm running out of room on my paper here, but that was mostly always every time we'd have Preston Brewer on the court.
Yeah, he filled it up in this tournament, that's for sure.
I wonder what the individual best performance is by a player in this tournament. Because I know in the Highland program they'll show you like, best single.
Yeah, that's not something they put in this tournament. They probably got them records somewhere, and I'm
I'll have to go ask Brian
guessing
Wassman, but
Brewer was within flirting distance of it with his
probably.
40.
He's still got another game to play, too. This is going to get moved around. Stegman drives, stops, passes it across over to the number 3 of Bartz. Bartz looking around. He'll pass it to Stegman. Did I go off the foot of the official and stay in play?
Come off Stegman's knee, hit the official, and stayed in play, so still a live ball.
Big break there for the Cougars as Stegman with it, looks, gives it to Hinton, who's back in the game, gives it to Johnson. Johnson puts it up, no good, but we'll get fouled, and we'll go to the line for 2.
Good take as Highland started moving the ball around there towards the beginning of that possession. They were getting a little, I don't know what you want to call it, but the guards were holding on to the ball just a little too long, had wide open players. Once they started moving it, it all opened up on the inside, and Johnson shooting 2.
That one up. No good. Got to get those free throws. They're free. Who doesn't love free? I love free. Do you love free?
I love free. Got to take advantage of them, though. Got to capitalize on them.
Is that one up and in? He'll get it. 3 points for Johnson tonight so far. He's had a pretty good tournament performance and everything. He's put up quite a few points. I'll have to get like his total amount, as that one will go out of bounds and will remain Clark County ball.
He really has, and some of it I think he's just playing with a lot more confidence. I mean, the ability's there. Nobody can deny that. Everybody sees it. He's had a little success and just playing with more confidence this week.
That one up, no good. Johnson.
Like right there, he's seen that ball, and he just went and got it. He went and got it over our player and one of the Clark County players.
Post tried to, I believe it was Post, tried to pass it in to Johnson. He went off his fingertips. Crowd was looking for some kind of a foul there as everyone was groaning. Oh. No call going to be made, though, as it's going to get moved over to the number 12 of Hunziker. Then back over here to Klein. Klein going to drive. He'll go up. He'll get fouled. And I think that'll be on Hinton.
Definitely on Hinton. That was one of the times it was bad rotation by Highland. Briscoe should have hopped in that gap instead of just reaching.
11-6 the score. You know, we talked about Brian Wassman a little bit earlier. Is that one up and in? Klein with his second point. This is, I'm going to guess, is going to be Wassman's last Tony Lenzini tournament as the athletic director, as he is retiring, apparently. I found that out yesterday.
Yeah, he's retiring. Palmyra's already found a new athletic director.
As that one came in, now we're going to get a jump ball here in front of the bench as Bliven went and
mad scramble for the ball there.
Risk it for the biscuit, and he got the biscuit. As I think it was, who was that? Stegman came in from behind and got the swipe.
Yeah, and then Bliven and 2 Clark County players just tumbling in a mess of people.
As there's some contact there. As good effort there by Day to try and keep it in play, but chucked it towards, hopefully not towards one of his relatives. I've had a long week.
You have. You've called a lot of games, several of them by yourself. It's been a lot. But
that one passed way out there to Bliven. He's going to stop. He's going to look around. He's going to drive. He'll give it to Stegman up top, who'll pass it into Bliven. Bliven passes it out to Post. Post going to keep it in play. Tries to get it out to Hinton. Hinton able to get a hand on it, but not able to keep it. As now here comes the number 1 of Salmons. He stops. He passes it out. Klein shoots for 3. Hits it. He had a pretty good drive at the net and then saw Klein and pass it out and gave it all, as now here comes Harden with the steal. No good, but rebound up and in is Klein, as he'll put on 2 more. And Edmondson going to call a full timeout here to calm our boys down. This broadcast is brought to you by Corix Carpet Cleaning, providing commercial and residential cleaning services. They are the carpet cleaning choice in Northeast Missouri. Give Eric a call, 573-423-6523. We'll be back. As welcome back here to the Tony Lenzini tournament as the boys consolation matchup between the Highland Cougars and the Clark County Indians. Highland playing host as its top bracket host. So the 8 seed is hosting the, what was Clark County, the 5 seed, I believe?
They were in the 4-5 game, and I always forget who was what in that one.
They were actually 6 seed. So the 8 seed playing the 6 seed down past the cross. I don't know where it was intended to go, but Johnson would get it, but they'll call a travel.
It's one of them, sometimes I've even discussed that with a couple of refs this year. That looked awkward, and sometimes I think when something looks awkward, a lot of refs are calling it travels when it's not a travel. I don't believe Brighton Johnson traveled there.
That's going to be number 4 of Klein. Yeah, I was kind of like, he didn't really have possession of the ball. It was kind of going between him on an awkward pass, but they called it a travel. So now we're going to get passed over to Klein. Klein looking, goes, drives in from the wing, stops, spins, passes it down to Harden. Harden mid-range, up and in for 2. Clark County will hold a lead.
Yeah, Clark's on a little run here. Highland just has to compose themselves.
Stegman able to go up and get, or Post was able to go up and get it. Stegman going to drive up and in, had a wide open shot.
Good drive. I'm going to be honest, a couple bad passes by Highland, but they got away with them, and Stegman found the seam and was able to drive it in. We still got to check back in and play under control.
14-13 the score. Clark County leads as they're going to set to bring Webster in, as here's a shot from Klein off the back of the board. Hinton goes up, tries to get the rebound. It will end up as Hinton will go down again. Doesn't look like that knee's bothering him anymore. As it's going to get passed over to Stegman. Stegman going to have to get it in. He'll pass it over to Bliven. Bliven will then pass it to Hinton. Down near the corner. Going to give it to Johnson. Johnson tries to drive. We'll get a foul, and he'll go to the line. You know, I think I need to start keeping count of how many times people's shoes have come untied in this tournament. I think that's the second time for Johnson this whole tournament. I think it was one in the last game, and this is the first time this game, so. I've seen a few unties happen. I think Van Far had one. That one up. No good off the back of the rim. Couple substitutions for the Clark County Indians. As here's a chance to tie the game. That one up. No good. Rebounded by Clark County. It's number 4 of Klein. So unable to capitalize on the free throws, as that's going to get passed over to Webster. Passes it down to the number 21 of Binsbacher, as they're going to say Bliven through the arms. That'll be his second foul.
They're going to leave him in. He needs to play smart here this last minute 24.
Going to go way out to the number 4 of Klein. Now it's going to go over to the number 12 Hunziker. Hunziker then over to Binsbacher. Then over here to Webster. Webster then passes it across over to Hunziker. Hunziker will then go to Webster. Webster will then pass it over to Binsbacher. Binsbacher looks. Passes it to the corner for Hunziker. Hunziker looking around. 1 minute coming near. Has hit the 1 minute mark. It's going to be the number 4 of Klein. Highland going to need some kind of a steal or stop here. As it's going to be Webster with it. Passes it out. Here's a shot for 3 off the rim. Let's say that goes off of Bliven out of bounds and will remain a Clark County ball.
Highland boys getting caught out of position too much. I know it's hard on his own defense, but when the shot goes up, they got to get in position. They got to be more physical. We have the size advantage. Got to quit allowing offensive rebounds.
As Bliven from behind was able to get a piece of that shot from Day and not get called for any form of foul, as that one's going to get passed over to Bliven. Bliven to Hinton. Hinton was a little too quick on the draw there. Passes it. Bliven keeps it in. Passes it up to Stegman, who gives it the post. Post baseline. Jump shot up. No good. Rebounded by the number 12 of Hunziker. As 26 seconds. Real good offensive drive there by Highland. Just not able to get it to drop.
A little better, a little more controlled that whole possession. Didn't look bad. Got a good look.
Try and get a stop here and go to halftime and just talk it over and get back with the lead in the third quarter of action. And it's going to get over to Hunziker. Hunziker, but Stegman with a steal. 5 seconds. As he's going to get scrambled, we'll get a foul with 1.9, and that will spend a baseline, or That will, so you're going to have to try and pull that, probably that hit and jump shot again.
Probably going to be some kind of, nope.
Shot
Wide
for
open
three is
for
post.
Post, almost. Highland got a good look there.
So that foul was on Day. That'll be his first, and that'll send us to halftime. This broadcast brought to you by Phillips Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, providing your needed heating, cooling, and plumbing throughout the tri-state area. Give them a call today, 573-822-4284. Visit them at phillipsheatingandcooling.com. We'll be back. Welcome back here as apparently number 4 of Klein has 9 for Clark County and Hardin with 4. Meanwhile, Highland's a little more spread out. Post with 4, Johnson with 3, Stegman with 2, Blivet with 2, Hinton with 2. Just got to find their shots and get them to drop and everything. Maybe bring in some of the other guys and see if they can get some of their shots to drop as well.
Yeah, Highland, I mean, if they finish a little better, you know, they're in the lead. The other big thing that Highland's got to do is, and I know this is hard when you say whatever our record is, 2-13, 2-15, but things didn't go their way for a little bit. They start getting down. They weren't near as active on defense. They got to get over that, and they got to overcome that. This is a 1-point game, and there was a couple times towards the end of that second half they were just no energy, just acting defeated, and they can't do that. And you know the coaches are explaining that to them, and they're going to get them up and they're going to challenge them to play like they started the game.
Well, with that being said, we'll take another break. This broadcast brought to you by Arnold Funeral Home. Serving the area community for 5 generations, they continue to uphold their legacy of helping families honor their loved ones. Arnold's Funeral Home, 1100 White Street, Canton, 122 West Main Street, Lewistown, Missouri, a founding sponsor of the Lewis County Scoop. We'll be back with the So Highland took a little bit longer there in the locker room, so you definitely know they're giving them all the words of advice that they can to get them back out here for the second half of action. And
yeah, they come out right at halftime, just with the minute left. Clark County, they come out probably the typical 3-4 minutes left, took up a few shots, but Highland straight to the bench and straight to coaching again.
It looks like they will go a different lineup here, so it looks like we'll get. Oh no, okay, they were just already sitting down. I thought she was going to have her players sit down, but
yeah,
no.
I wasn't sure what was going on there neither. They had a interesting 5 sitting down.
They did. It was Gauss, it was DeClure, it was Vaughn, and Bart, both the Bart's brothers sitting down there on the bench. I was like, oh, that's an interesting 5. This should be fun. It's good. You might see them come out at some point, and there's this pass down baseline, throws it up and in for 2. Parker with 2 points on the night. 7:41, 16-13 the score. Clark County leads. You just got to have Post and Stegman just find their shots too, because them guys can hit it. As Stegman going to shoot for 3 up top. No good. Post going to pass out. Bliven gets it in, gets it to Post between the legs, but Hinton not able to collect the pass up, as now it's going to be Hardin. And there will be a travel called on Hardin. As Clark County coach Brock Egley kind of looking like, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's another one. I mean, I'm unsure on it. I'm not a referee, but yeah, I was unsure if that was a travel too.
Stegman passes it up to Hinton. Hinton out the post. Post going to drive. Loses it, but gets it back. Passes it up to Bliven. Bliven up to Stegman. Stegman over to Post. Post then to Bliven. Bliven to Stegman. Stegman not able to get full control of it. Then he'll pass it to Post, who's wide open. Up. No good. And not able to beat Hardin on the rebound. Somebody's got to get up there and challenge him for those.
Yeah, good ball movement by Highland. We got a good look. Just got to be a little stronger on the finish, not fade away.
And it's going to be Hunziker with it. Passes it over to Day. Day then goes up top to Webster. Then over to Hunziker. Hunziker then to Webster. Then passed in. Up. No good. Rebounded by Hinton, as you could almost argue for a foul there, as he kind of comes up and goes into the shoulder of Hinton. That's kind of a dangerous play. He already had control of the rebound, and he's just come flying across the air.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact there, but Highland didn't lose the ball. No foul called.
Stegman will pass it to Post, gives it to Hinton here on the near corner. Hinton looking around, he'll drive baseline. He'll go up and in for 2.
Good strong move there by Hinton. That's good to see. Still walking pretty gingerly, but he went to the basket hard, so hopefully he's feeling good enough to get through the second half.
It's going to get moved around. It's going to go up top to the number 12 of Hunziker. Hunziker looking around. Going to pass it over to the number 14 of Day. Day looking, getting challenged by Post. He'll pass it over to Webster. Webster will then pass it to Hunziker. Hunziker over to Day. Day shoots for 3. Hits it. 19-15 your score. Still a tightly contested game here with 5:38. Going to pass it over to Post. Post going to look, gives it to Stegman. Stegman going to just take it. No good as it's off, but Johnson gets the rebound. A little too much on that one. Tries to get his own rebound. That one off a Clark County player. I'm going to say, if they called that one off Highland, that was...
Being good and active there again, Johnson. Just having a little trouble finishing tonight. Just needs to relax and let it happen.
Stegman's going to throw it in. He's going to get the hit and tried the jump shot. Will get fouled, and so he'll go to the line. That'll be the second foul, number 5 of Hardin. Not much of a mismatch here. It's kind of evenly matched up on size between these two schools.
Yeah, Highland's got a bit of a height advantage, but Clark County's got a lot of just big, strong kids.
Evanston going to hold back Tucker Vaughn and wait till after the second shot. Hitting second shot up and in.
What we need to see on this possession, I'm going to say it again, need to see harder closeouts and just more activity out of this press, or I believe this game's gonna start slipping away from Highland.
Bliven doing some double work as there's the shot, no good. Rebounded by Bliven. Man, he is all over the court.
And almost on cue, that looked better. I accidentally said press. I meant the zone, but, man, they moved well, talked to each other, and looked good in the zone in that possession.
Johnson with a jump spin, gets it up. No good. Bliven gets the rebound. We'll get a foul.
A lot going on there, and I don't no idea what team that's even going to be on.
I think that's
like it's
30,
on Clark County.
30, yeah, I was going to say it had to be off of him. I wouldn't have seen any way there was going to be a foul there on Highland there. So it was off of Parker as Stegman will get it. Now up to post and down to Bliven. Then over to Vaughn. Vaughn shoots for 3. Hits it!
Big shot there. Good job by Kason Blivens driving the seam against Clark County zone and then hitting the open man. Good basketball play by both young men there.
Going to get moved around here on the arch. They're trying to find an open shot. Passes it over to Webster. Left them almost way to open. Tried to pass it in, and Bliven just going to cover it up and hold on to it. Bliven going to pass it over to Stegman. Stegman going to look. He's going to try and drive. He'll try and get it to Bliven. Bliven loose handles it a little bit, but keeps it. Goes low. Trying to keep from traveling. Keeps his feet planted. Now he's on doing a splits. He tries to get it to Johnson. That one did not go out of bounds as here comes Harden the other way. Stegman in front of him tries to pass. A few tips. That one up, no good, but will get fouled.
Pretty good transition defense by Stegman there. They got a bad shot, but we need to come down with that rebound.
But still, you kind of want to take that foul there too and not let them get up with the 2 shots. So you take the foul.
Yeah, once we didn't get it, it was probably a good foul. Brighton just needs a little bit better position on that, and Vaughn needed to get in a lot better position, and he's the one that picked up the foul.
Well, it worked out too at the end of that one as Clark County didn't even get a single point off that whole ordeal. They missed the 2, and they missed the 2, and then they went to the free throw line and still missed the 2. So
Clark County still in their 1-2-2, but they're extending it up almost to a 3-quarter or half-court trap here. Now they kind of fall back as Highland breaks it.
As that pass was intended for post, low, but Indians just waiting on it. And
Stegman's just trying too hard there. That's not going to get there.
Yeah, he's got to watch out on Webster there. He's wide open in the corner, but Bliven's going to be able to get over to him, but it's also Hunziker over there. But Bliven just going to be able to keep up on it. Tried to swipe the pass, unable to. As it's going to get moved around, passed over to Day. Day thought about it as able to keep it, almost able to get it back was the Cougars as drive stop, passes it out. Here's Webster, jump shot 2. No good. Johnson able to tip it around. Will he come up with it? No, but the Clark County Indians will throw it in. That was Harden to throw it in. And so now, post with it. We'll pass it over to Tucker Vaughn. Watch out from behind as Vaughn is down, holding his jaw.
Gets hit hard there, goes down.
I think they want a technical here because as the trainers are going to come out here, we're going to take a break and we'll be back. Welcome back here as he will get escorted down to the locker room, it seems. So hopefully he'll be all right and able to come back in later. So the ball will go back the other way, 21-19. I don't know who even scored those points, if there was even any points scored. As here's Hinton, drives up and in. So Highland going to be able to respond, and hopefully they'll rally around that kind of hit there. I'm not really going to say anything as, officials can't go back and look at it and make an official decision. But
yeah, it was hard to tell what even happened there. But he
But, I mean, really, for me personally, if he's getting hit in the jaw, that hand came in a very close place and probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I couldn't see what happened, but he went down hard, went down in a heap. It was definitely something hard.
Officials getting on Bliven, and it's just like, you know, I see a lot of the same officials. It's like, come on, you guys should know how Bliven plays. He plays emotional. You don't have to keep getting on him about it. It's going to get moved around here by Clark County as 21-21 the score. It's all tied up. Here's a drive. They're going to call a grab on Johnson, it looks like. They're Ryan Johnson, I think. Yep. That'll be his third in the third quarter. So sitting pretty good, a little late in the third. Not as late as you'd like, but
yeah, they'll probably sit him here the rest of the quarter, get him to the fourth just with 3.
As offensive charge.
Blivens took an elbow maybe right to the nose there, and it took a second for the whistle to happen, but it did. And
yep, they'll do exactly what you said. They'll take Johnson out and bring in Gauss. And foul going to be called on the number 3 of Webster. That'll be his second. I thought they said White 3, and I was like, White 3? Bartz is on the bench. Now we're going to get passed over to Hinton. Hinton going to pass it into Gauss. Gauss spin move. Up, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it up, and in for 2.
Good work by Chris. Not getting a lot of minutes tonight, but comes right in and contributes.
Was a little physical, too. Was that one up? No good. I think Gauss even got a hand on that one, so he's already contributing.
Not only did he get a hand on it, he did a good job closing that seam and closing that gap.
Stegman going to get fouled on a drive. Haven't seen Vaughn come back out, neither the trainer, so they're probably going to look at him, make sure he's good. Hopefully, I'm going to guess it's mostly going to be just for concussion protocol, as he's mostly holding his head area, so they'll check him out, and hopefully he'll be able to get back out. He's got 3 points on a big 3-shooter. As 23-21 the score. Going to pass that one out the post. Post going to look around, pass it over. Stegman wide open, shoots for 3. No good, unable to get the rebound as it's the number 10 of Weaver on that.
Good look there, good looking shot. Kane's just struggling a little bit tonight, but when he gets some good looks like that within the flow of the offense, we still need him to take them. He'll knock them down.
It's a very good zone defense here put up by Highland as they just transition, move with the ball, and make sure to keep somebody near somebody at least. It's going to get moved around here. Clark County just unable to find an open man, really, that'll be inside, as they're just going to have to move it around the arch. Here's a drive, passes it out to Webster. Webster on the near wing, passes it over to the 21 of Binsbacher, then passes it out to Weaver. Now up top to Webster. Webster looking 56 seconds in the third quarter. This third quarter has gone by. There's a shot for 3. No good, too much. Post with it. Now he's going to drive. Got a 3-on-2. Keeps it in bounds, however, loses it. Tried to go behind the back there on it and unable to corral it in. As 47 seconds, 23-21. Highland just has to get another stop here. Going to get passed in, down low, and there you go. There's the stop, and Post will pass it back to Stegman. Stegman going to drive it in, as I look down, and Caitlin Benson, Highland alumni, has walked into the gym as her Lady Panthers will battle Monroe City for third place here tonight. That one passed up. Stegman out over to Post. Post for 3. Bang! Post hits it.
Great possession, great flare by Post there to get open in the corner, and great job of Stegman recognizing that skip pass and getting a wide open look.
I think Larry Post is down here grinning ear from ear right now as that one tipped by Stegman. As he's sitting kind of right down below us here, Superintendent Post.
Well, if you haven't been to a boys game, he's one of the most.
Or not superintendent of.
Principal
Post.
I don't
know why I was thinking superintendent there.
He's one of the most active and
drive, 3,
and
2,
loud Highland
no
fans.
Foul. Hinton just going to hold on to it as, sorry to interrupt you there again, but 26-21 going into the fourth quarter. The Highland Cougars have a lot of momentum. As this broadcast is brought to you by Fleer Feed Incorporated. Fleer Feed is dedicated to providing unmatched service, building relationships with our customers, and providing animal nutrition services backed by quality products. Stop in today, 103 South Elm Street, Lewistown, Missouri. We'll be back. Edmondson kind of stepped out of the circle hustling. She's going to let Abel finish drawing up the plan there and everything. And, I think Edmondson has been a very excellent coach for this program. A couple struggling years, of course, but, she's been coaching how long now? Not that long, I don't think.
I know she's had some experience before she come to Highland. Gauss working good there, getting a good board. But also, right there, like you said, assistants are there for a reason. Trust your assistants, too, and she has a good relationship with her assistants, and
that's what I was getting to.
She trusted Abel there. That was good.
You finished my sentence there. Good job. I love that. That's great. As shot for three, no good. Rebounded by Post. 28-21 your score, and the Palmyra student section's showing up, and they're in camouflage, Jason, so I think you need to go check their hunting license over there. Check their permits and everything.
I think they did that one other time already this week.
Post over to Gauss. Gauss from the free throw. Jump shot up. No good. Off the front of the rim. Post with the rebound. Puts it up and in for two.
Probably not Chris's shot, but it worked out for Highland. And just with the effort he's given, that was perfectly fine, young man. It was a good shot to take, and Post backed you up and put it in.
As looks like about two more starters about to get set to come back in for Clark County. Looks like Parker and Hunziker, but right now they've got to work with what they've got on the court as it's Weaver with it. Now over to Klein. Klein leading the team right now in points with 9. Has a pass there. They'll call a kickball on Stegman. He likes to jump up a lot and try and stop anything, but I wonder how many kickballs he's probably got on the season.
A lot, but if that's what you got to do, just do that.
It helps reset your defense
and
too.
It frustrates the offense, And sometimes you may get away with it and be able to cause a turnover.
I know he's probably had that quite a few times too. I wish there was a lot more stats. Track that one up and in from the number 12 Hunziker. He's got 2 on the night. There's just so many stats I wish were tracked at the high school level that I think would just help out so many kids. As a steal here from Harden goes up. Too much on that one as Bart's going to pass it over to Stegman. Now he's got to watch out behind him. He's got a few, but he's passed it down to Gauss. Gauss out the post. Post steps back for 2. No good. Gauss tried to reach up and get the rebound, but Parker would end up with it. As again, I just wish a lot of them stats were tracked and help out a lot of these kids, especially when coaches at the college level are looking at these high school kids like, okay, what else can you provide for me besides points?
Yeah, exactly.
As drive baseline up, Parker gets fouled as he just kind of chucked it up there. It was going to go up into the net, but he will draw the foul there as that's going to be called on Gauss, but that's only Gauss's first, and for such a physical player, getting your first foul in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that shot needed challenge. We need to send him to the line.
That one up. He will get it in after a little bit of a bounce around. I kind of hope they won't make that second one, but then again, he didn't get the 2 points going up on the basket, so he will get 2. So he doesn't get 4, but he does get 2 there. Bartz will start it, gives it to Stegman. 6 minutes on the clock. Bartz loses control of it as he's going to try and get out. Now they're going to put on some kind of a press. Stegman just going to pass it up to Gauss. Gauss going to keep it in. Kind of like he was, oh man, Hinton just pulled the trigger too early on the drive there. But now they'll bring Bliven back in as he's already been kind of warned by the officials, so he'll have to be careful. But
yeah, and Clark's going to press. Highland just has to calm down. That has been our Achilles heel this year, but just calm down, make the good passes. Chris needs to realize on that last one, the press was broken. Just don't rush it. Don't let it speed you up, especially after you've broken it and got it across.
Yeah, Hinton kind of just went a little too early. He's like, oh, that's for me, and Post had his back turned, and he could have probably recovered that if, maybe a little bit better communication there because I didn't really see anybody talking or hear anybody talking, and we can hear quite a bit from over here where we're at even.
Yeah.
Unable to get the rebound. Edmondson frustrated with that one, too, as travel going to be called there, so they will fix that one up.
Got to travel here. The big change we need to see on Highland's defense right now is we need that bottom line of the zone to do a better job rebounding.
Stegman gets it up to Bliven. Bliven able to pass it down. Hinton goes up and dunks it in. That's the momentum changer right there.
That was big there. Great job breaking the press. Great pass by Blivens, and Hinton having the confidence to go in and slam it down, giving this Highland crowd a bit of a boost.
I've been waiting for him. He looked like he'd been thinking about it a couple times, but it was a good time to save it there for when you really need some good momentum with 4:44. Here's a shot for 3. Bounces off the rim. Unable to get the rebound. Just got to keep playing how you have. There's a shot for three. No good. Rebounded by Hinton.
That's what we need out of Hinton right there. He went up and ripped that rebound down. That was great to see. Hopefully he can do that these last 4.5 minutes.
Stegman over to Gauss. Now it's coming back over to Stegman on the near wing. Drives, tipped away, keeps it in, hands it back to Stegman as jump shot from the free throw. A little much on that one. As now back the other way. 4:12 remaining here. Here's a drive by the Clark County Indians. Now it's going to get moved around the arch. Hunziker with it. Then he's going to pass it back to Klein. Can't let Klein find opportunities like he did earlier in the game as Edmondson's looking around. Edmondson looking at Vaughn and asking him if he's good to go in. It's going to get moved around. Here's a shot. That's who you didn't want to get it, but it's going to be a full timeout. Going to be taken here by Clark County as we'll take a break here as well. We'll go back to the very top. This broadcast brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, agent Jeff Whiston, with offices in Canton and Monticello, Missouri. If your address ends in MO, he's for you. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here. 32-28, Cougars lead. They've got a little bit of momentum after the hit and dunk, but a little bit of that momentum taken back by Clark County after the Klein three there, and that's definitely somebody I was saying you don't want to lead them get a little bit open there and get a good shot like that.
Yep, just a 4-point game now. Clark County's in a totally different press now, coming out in a 2-2-1. Highland bobbles it a little bit, but gets a
Vaughn shot for three there, not able to get it to drop as now back the other way, 3:34. He was open, and
he was open, but he's got recognized. We didn't really need that shot. Almost could have probably got a layup there, or if not, just kick it back out.
As looks like that one up and in. Parker for two more.
Well ran play by Clark.
Now they're trying to put on the press. Here comes Johnson again. Here's Vaughn. I'm not even sure what happened, but now I realize Parker came in and swiped it out of bounds. So we got a match of the 33 and the 33 going. But now they'll take Vaughn back out.
Got Hinton a quick breather he needed, and now he's back in.
If that's all you needed out of him, that'll work. As post for three. In for a three.
Little short, but a nice soft shot rolled right in. 5-point lead for Highland, 35-30, 3 minutes left.
Had to make sure I was getting my tallies right. I was almost messed up there. As there's a shot for three, trying to get a response, no good. And look who got that rebound. It's Post again.
Again, just like I said about Hinton, watching Post elevate and just go over people and bring that rebound down. That's what Highland probably needs more than anything out of both them young men to finish out this game.
Passes out to Stegman. Can't be going floater passes like that, especially with a press. As Johnson tries to get it up, no good. Rebounded by the number 4 of Klein, as he'll bring it in himself. Bliven playing as aggressive as he can without getting fouled. As that one up gets fouled is the number 12 of Hunziker. He'll go to the line again. And Hinton, he's shaking his head. Yes, Edmondson was barking what he didn't need to do there. And I just see him shake his head like, yep, I know. That one up and in. It's always the worst one is when you know what you did wrong, and you're still going to get wrung out for it a little bit there.
Yeah, he knew he committed the foul, but I mean, you gotta. He's not no foul trouble. You still got to try to challenge her, even if it sends the guy to the line.
Yeah, only his second foul here in the fourth quarter as 35-31. Clark County with a chance here to try and get this a little bit closer. As that one up and in. Hunziker with 4. And now they're going to keep trying to apply the press here. I'm not sure what the timeout counts are, but it could play an effect here as Johnson passes it out the post and into Hinton. Hinton looking around.
Somebody's got to come to him and help him. There we go.
Gives it to post, then up to Stegman, then over to Bliven. Bliven looking, gives it to Stegman. Rolls it around, looks, passes it up to Hinton. Hinton going to try and drive baseline. They'll say he stepped out of bounds. A little late on it, though, but they will call it, and that is the right call. 35-32, need to get a stop here. They've been very good at getting the stops. They just got to keep at it, stay on this zone defense as well as you've played it all night long. Keep Klein from finding a good open shot here. Don't foul Hunziker as he's been going to the line quite a bit, so he's probably got a good feel for them free throws. As it's going to get passed into Parker, then out to the number 12, Hunziker, as he'll hit three.
A little run by Clark County here, tied the game. Highland's just got to stick with it.
1:35 remaining, pass back to Stegman. Drive, Stegman goes up, no good. Johnson tried to get the rebound. Parker comes down with it, however. As 35-35, Clark County could take the lead here again.
Clark County slowing it down, looking to set something up here.
Hunziker will get it, then passes it back to Klein. Klein goes to the far wing.
Better watch Parker coming to the short corner. They're trying to set up that play they ran just a second ago. They're going to.
Weaver over to Hunziker. Hunziker looks. Has Bliven all over him. Passes it out to Klein. Klein going to drive. 55 seconds. Passes it up. Trying to waste as much clock while trying to score. Gets fouled and goes in for two.
No way. Called the block. I guess going to say Hinton didn't quite get squared up is maybe why they got the call there.
And Edmondson will take a timeout as well. 37-35 with 52 seconds. So we'll stay on the air here. 37-35 with a full timeout. You got a chance. So 39, so 4-point game. You hit a three, it's a 1-point game. And if you get a foul, if you get fouled on a 3-point shot, that's going to probably be the biggest thing that you can get.
Yeah, make or miss this free throw. Highland's got to come down and they got to get a good shot. A 2 or a 3. Don't need to force nothing. Don't need to rush nothing. 52 seconds left. Just make sure on a miss we secure the free throw. They got to stay confident. I mean, some of the body language I'm seeing right now from some of the young men is really good and what you want to see. A couple of them, it's not what you want to see, but hopefully in their minds is where it should be and they're checked in. This game's not over. It's a two-point game with 52 seconds left. They ought to enjoy these moments and ought to like them.
You just gotta. Yeah, it was a shooting foul. If that was a baseline foul, that would have been something. As that one passed to Hunziker. That one up and in. So I thought he was going to the line for 2. What's the warning?
They're going to call a delay game because the Clark County player grabbed the ball out off the make and threw it.
So there's a warning handed to Clark County. 47 seconds, 3-point game here. Johnson with it. Passes it to Stegman. Stegman looking. There's going to be pressure being put on by Clark County. Post. Jump shot 2. No good. They're going to call that on Hinton even though he was backing up into him. I don't know how you call that. He's coming with the ball and he's coming down. He's just bouncing backwards trying to regain himself.
Highland needs to come up and press here. Here they're doing it.
As here's a drive. Klein. 30 seconds.
Got to get out there, boys. Got to get out.
Pass around. It's going to be the number 12, Hunziker. It's going to be called on Hinton. That'll be his 4th. Yeah, I don't know how you call that foul there, though. I mean, he's coming. Hinton's just standing there, and he's getting ran into. And
it was a strange call. I don't understand any whistle there on either team. Neither young man was really contacting each other than the Clark County player was boxing out the Highland player.
So now it's a 4-point game. Now they're going to try and do something here. They're going to bring in Vaughn, it looks like, and the 21, or Vaughn and Schneider as that one up and in. So now it's a 5-point game here. And she's going to take a timeout. Nope, not Klein. Hunziker hit that. It'll be another full here. Going to try and get something going here with a 5-point game. 24.7 seconds. You can force Clark County to make a big mistake in their own defensive zone and get the ball back after shooting. No fouls. I mean, you've sent Clark to the bonus. No fouls have been called on Clark County.
Yeah, fouls are 5-0 this quarter, but not ideal, not what we want to see. But Highland can't use that. Can't use that as an excuse. They still 24 seconds left. We get down here, get a quick look. I would say, depending on how quick they get a bucket, maybe you pressure for a pass or two, and then about the time they're getting into half court, you have to foul and put them on the line. Depends who catches too. I mean, anytime you could probably foul a couple of these Clark County players, I'd foul them wherever they're at. Hopefully they discuss that. Some matchup issues on who to foul and who not to foul.
Also pass it in, gives it to Stegman. I figured they'd try and let it roll a little bit, but nope. Stegman will then pass it over. Vaughn for three.
Short, well short.
Short.
Jump ball.
Jump ball.
Going to Clark.
So Edmondson will take a timeout. She'll send out two more substitutions. She'll send in Bartz and Gauss and Bliven. 30-second timeout. 17.1 seconds. 5-point game. If you can get it off of them after the jump ball call there. Overall, though, Highland, I thought, played a pretty good game tonight, but just,
yeah, it's been a good game.
The fouls in the fourth quarter, I think, really hurt them. It sent Hunziker to the line a lot this quarter, and so just not able to battle the press all that well either. Just kind of gave up the ball a few times there, and also just not able to get a lot of rebounds and get on offense. That one's getting passed. Gauss going to drag up the foul there. As who's that send? Harden?
5.
As I just kind of hate this part of the game. I really do, because it takes 16 seconds, makes it an hour long, and I don't really see it work all that often. It's
still close enough. They got to try it, but right now, if he makes this one, it's all but over.
That one up and in. So Clark County will escape with the win here today. Has a bad pass there. Parker going to get it. 10 seconds passed up. You don't even need to shoot it, but you're going to. That one up and in is Hunziker. There's really no point. 2-1. Stegman going to shoot it for 3. Close. So we don't get a sweep tonight, but overall, decent performance as the Cougars will fall yet again. And so they just have to move into conference and just play with confidence and everything, but still just unable to get around the Clark County Indians. So, but picked up a win over Hannibal.
Yeah, they had a good tournament. I say what you want about the first round game. I mean, Highland played a pretty good game against the Palmyra Panthers in the 1-8 game and had to win, and then played a good game for a long time tonight. It just kind of slipped away from him at the end. No real big faults by anybody. Just things we can learn from, things we can do.
Congratulate head coach Brock Egley and his Indians from Clark County for their participation in sportsmanship in this year's tournament. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Good job by the Highland coaches making our team stay out and watch the other team get their medals. Not calling anybody out, but that wasn't done in the last game, wasn't done in the girls' game. The losing team walked off the court pretty quick.
But they'll go to the locker room and go back home. But again, closer to the end of the season, you've got 3 seniors. Actually, was Keaton McElroy even here?
He wasn't here tonight. I don't know why not, but Nope, he wasn't even dressed out or on the bench tonight. I hadn't heard anything. Highland School in general has been dealing with a lot of sickness. I don't know if Keenan's the latest victim of that or what's going on.
But Panthers and Monroe, well, Palmyra Panthers and Monroe City Panthers ladies battling it out for third place. That'll bring it in for the broadcast here for the consolation. So Canton Tigers will take the win for ladies consolation, but the boys consolation will go to the Clark County Indians as Highland will look to move on and play the rest of the conference and try and get something a little bit better at the end of the season and get a better seed in districts, not have to go straight to the juggernaut of Palmyra. As I've been your play-by-play Remington Age, Jason Vaughn alongside me. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with a tip-off of 5 o'clock for the Canton Tigers and the Van Var Indians. We'll be back tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.